Hi there. Welcome to Tech Talk Weekly. I'm Bob from Creation Station. How hot do you like your food? This is our weekly show where we talk about 3 or 4 interesting stories in the news this week, get you on your way with a fun library fact, try to hit you in about 20 minutes. We'll find out whether that works or not this week because Lisa Jackson, how are you doing?
Hello. I'm well. How are you?
Lisa is the head of children's youth services at African American Research Library, AARLCC. You're one of the originals, like I was.
Yeah, you and I.
I don't think there's anybody else left.
There's one other person for sure.
Okay. Oh, is Shirley still there?
Right.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's
So I'll see her then too. We'll talk
Yeah.
about what's going on out there at the end of the show because you've got a huge event happening soon.
Super huge. Super cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun for everybody.
Yeah.
We have the first story this week is actually last week's story. We couldn't get to it last week, but this is too important to like not put on the show. So last Thursday was Global Accessibility Awareness Day. Did you know that was a thing, Lisa?
I did not.
Okay. So every year, it's the third Thursday of May, is one day set aside. It's a tech company thing where they've kind of banded together to say, we're going to do this to highlight how we can make our own technology more accessible. And by doing so, all the big companies now are kind of competing with each other. Like, oh no, I can do this. And we got to roll this out before this day or stuff like that. So it's a nice little internal motivation for them.
It's awesome.
And so, yeah, it is. It's really great. So a couple of the things that came out, the whole long story on this. And as always, it's in the show notes for everybody so that you will be able to find out exactly where to go get all of these individual items because you may want them. And that's the key about this, really. The key that I always want to point out is accessibility stuff doesn't mean it's for someone who is differently abled. It's meant to make it for everyone, to make everyone's life better, which means in this case on Apple, they are now, they rolled out a new thing called Point and Speak, which is not new, but there's some new stuff in it, including things like pointing your camera at the microwave and it will know what each button is and what it means. Now, if you are hard of sight, if you have bad eyesight, this could be a very good thing because it can speak out loud to you when you put your finger near the button. It'll tell you what button you're about to press.
Oh, I love that.
I think my wife would love this a lot if I were to do something like this instead of turning on the kitchen lights. And I could just hold a phone up and it would tell me, no, that's the one, the two, the whatever. And I could just do that without making any sounds and turning on any lights. That's what accessibility is all about, folks. It's not just this is for someone who is blind, but it is for people who can do everything.
You want to sneak downstairs in the middle of the night. You don't want your parents to know.
There we go. See, exactly. The visual question and answer is great because this one's on from Google, where you can take an image and ask the question. It'll give you a response back of what is in the image. But the really cool, nice thing about this is it only gives you a little bit of information about the image and you can ask further questions. The example we've got up on the screen here, it's showing the picture showing a dog running on a beach. And so you ask the question, is the beach busy? And it will spit back because they're using some large language models, AI stuff going in. And it'll say, no, the beach is empty because there's nobody here except for a dog. Oh, does the dog look happy? Yes, the dog is, looks playful, etc. So you can do some really fun things with this. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Also, Amazon rolled out voice raising and lowering in certain of their videos. So everyone is out there looking at this stuff. So pay attention, do that. I just wanted to highlight it because I didn't want it to like fade away and anybody think we ignored it.
So I don't understand why what the volume of the voice, like
so what happens is in case you don't like having closed captions on, or if it's just not available for certain things, it will automatically take the vocal portion of a show and make the voices louder so that you can hear it over the side effects, sound effects, all the background stuff that's going on. Yeah, there's some really nice things happening in some of the different stuff. So,
interesting.
And one of the really cool things that's happening right now is we're not going to hit by an asteroid.
Space. I love space.
Yeah. And we're not going to get hit. That's the cool part.
Thank goodness for that.
Now, the better part about this is you can help not get hit by an asteroid.
I would love that.
Because University of Arizona, and yeah, if you're like, Bob, don't you talk about them a lot? Yeah, we work with them a lot. I know, opposite ends of the country, but University of Arizona's got some really good science stuff going on. And they have Catalina Sky Survey is what the NASA acronym thing for it is. And I really like their choice of what it is of their name is the Daily Minor Planet.
Oh, I love it.
It's a website that you go to, you log in, and you give it a name, because that's an important part also. You're going to look for asteroids. You're going to compare pictures and see, wait, I think this is different in this picture than this picture. And so you can better track what asteroids are out there and which ones are moving around. And if you find a new one, it gets assigned your name.
That is amazing.
You get to have your name on a piece of asteroid that's out there floating in the solar system coming back for us.
That sounds like fun.
And as always, the link is in the show notes. You can go do it. But you can see exactly here what these are doing. Zooniverse is the site that they run this on. They do that with African safari stuff. So you can pick how many different animals you see of each type in a picture, so they can do better tracking of population size and stuff. In this case, Zooniverse is paired up with these people at University of Arizona and NASA to do asteroid hunting. So if you're like, this is a cool idea, but I don't care about asteroids, hello, it's space. Come on now.
Yes.
But go look at Zooniverse and you'll find something that you want to contribute, because it's really, really
I'm doing
cool.
that when we finish today.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really cool.
And just so you know, looking at this, here's the numbers. This is the fun one. 1,800 people participating right now.
Wow. Right at this moment?
As part of this research right now. Not the second filing things, but total registrants doing this stuff. They have done 140,000 identifications so far.
That's crazy.
It sounds like a lot, right?
Yeah.
They're only 11% done. So yeah, go help them out.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you ever do these sorts of things instead of playing a game on your computer or doing or whatever, or just browsing on TikTok? You could be helping the world, helping the planet.
Yes.
Find some stuff, do some basic things, and it's a little bit fun. I've done the safari one a few times.
I've never tried it, but I do have Sky Map on my.
Oh yeah, you got to. Everybody should have Sky Map on.
So cool, just to know that what you're looking at is a planet. Yeah, it's just so everything about space, how huge it is, everything. It's just.
It is, and in case you're not familiar with it, Sky Map is an app, iOS and Android, and all you have to do is download it. And once you are set up, you just point it at anything in the sky, and it tells you exactly where it is, what you're looking at. Or you say, I want to find this, and then it'll tell you how to scan your phone around until it's there.
It's very cool.
I did it out when we were in Morocco. I did it to identify some constellations that I wasn't, because there's not a lot of light out there.
When you went to South Africa?
Yeah, it's just insane too. Yeah, and people just were like, well, "How are you doing that?" And I'm like, "It's magic." And then, no, here, let me show you how to do this on your phone. And yeah, it works really well.
Yeah.
And I got something else for you there, Lisa. Do you listen to AM radio?
No.
When's the last time you listened to AM radio?
It's probably been 15, 20 years.
See, I saw this story go by and I'm like, that's kind of a weird thing. Why are, I guess there's a handful of people out there somewhere that are really upset about AM radio possibly going away. Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
It turns out I have a couple of friends, as I was talking about this story with people this week, that are passionate. They want to keep their AM radio.
What does AM stand for? Or better
Amplitude
yet, what is the difference between AM and
okay, so AM and FM, amplitude versus frequency for modulation. So AM radio is you've got your waves that go out, your radio waves that go out, and it extends a long way. You can cover a lot of area with an AM radio station than you can with FM frequency. It doesn't go as far. That's number one. Number two is the radio waves as they get more and more crowded, because remember, all this electromagnetic spectrum as it is, remember, that's the 4G, 5G stuff that your cell phone works on. That is, at the very high end, microwave radiation and things like that. So it's there. People are using it still. It turns out there are some people who are very passionate about using it. And Congress has listened to those people who are extremely passionate, saying, we want to keep this in our cars. Now, here's my question for you, though. Is everything else, AM radio has been there long before FM, before 8 tracks.
Yep, I remember back in the day.
Yeah. So what use is it now to have in your car when you could listen to this in any other format? Because it's not like that radio station is going to go away.
Right.
You could still listen to it on iHeartRadio as an app, or in any of your podcasting apps. A lot of those can gather radio stations, or your individual radio station may have an app that you can listen to that particular station. If you're, I know a friend who loves St. Louis, and she listens to a St. Louis radio station still. I'm like, the traffic there is very different than it is in South Florida, but okay. But again, I was like, so you're listening to AM radio. Great. Okay, cool. I get it. Everybody listen to what you want. But do you really think Congress should be mandating this?
Is it that important?
Well, I'm more worried about the idea of just like Congress mandating a particular technology to stay in a car because they think we should be keeping it. And to me, I think you've had this conversation with me before, Lisa. This is kind of like the buggy whip makers. This is like, we're going to make sure that every town has at least one buggy whip maker, because people will still need that eventually, maybe as a backup. So we're going to guarantee that every town, I'm like,
yeah.
Right now,
so
it's only
it's a
one car
issue,
and it's not a safety issue.
Then I don't get it.
They're trying to say it's a safety issue. Some Congress people are saying, oh no, we need to keep it in there so we can send them emergency alerts.
That's what you have your cell phone for.
Well, yeah. And not only that, thank you, but it only works if you're tuned into that AM radio station. So if you make me keep an AM radio station in my car, which, by the way, I do have an AM radio station in my car, AM radio, because it's built in. It's still built into all current modern cars except for Tesla. They're the only ones who stopped it. And a couple of very high-end ones from like Mercedes, they seem to be dropping the AM radio from those. But it still wouldn't give me an alert, because if I don't have it on an AM station, how am I going to get an alert?
Yeah.
It's going to come on my
that doesn't make sense. So that is kind of weird.
Yeah. this is one of those stories that almost just like I was just reading through. I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. Huh? And I happened to mention it to one person, and she was like, oh my gosh, I can't stand this idea. They got to do something to save these. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, there needs to be a rationale behind it. And I don't know if there is a real something behind it that they're just not saying.
There's not. No.
Oh,
No, there's nothing. Because it is we want to keep this because that's what we're used to, instead of saying, and it's not like car manufacturers are going to give it up. I mean, Ford actually had to come out with a statement saying, we are not taking AM radios out of our
oh
car.
my gosh. See, like when I accidentally hit AM, I go, oh my God, and hit FM because like I'm not listening to AM. There's nothing on AM I want to hear.
Marlins baseball.
So
I listen to baseball games because it works and it's great.
I guess.
There's FM Marlins games also, and you could just listen to them on the app on your phone or whatever. But when I'm driving in the car, AM goes for a longer distance, so I can hear it from farther away. So
yeah,
that's what I do.
It's still kind of weird to me.
Yeah. Got one more question for you. How spicy do you like your food?
Spicy.
See,
I love the burn.
So this is a very, very good thing for you and me. Yeah, I am definitely of that opinion when I go out and I get Thai food, and it's like, no, I need it to be hot. And they're like, okay, I'm like, no, I need it to be Thai hot.
Right.
Then, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, trust me, I know what I'm doing.
Yes. I don't like mine that hot, but I'm really upset if I buy Thai food and it's not hot. It's like mild. It's like, why am I buying this?
Yeah. Don't make it for Americans. Make it for Thai people and give that to me then. Yeah, exactly. So capsaicin, I'm sure a lot of people who have thought about spicy food know that word. Capsaicin is the actual spice, the chemical in spices that tickles your tongue. So
because
there's a difference in between.
Isn't it also used for like arthritis pain?
That is an off-type use that some people use as a folk remedy kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It is not that's not a proven thing. But that's kind of the goal, is it affects pain receptors. That's why people have go along that path like that, because it's not, when you're talking about heat like that, this is an actual pain receptor, not the salty sweet. So you're actually are causing pain. You're being a little bit of a masochist and accepting pain when you eat spicy foods like that.
That's very cool.
So that is why now so far, virtually all other creatures on the planet, capsaicin is there to stop them from eating them. That's the plants produce capsaicin to say, no, don't eat me. Hey, you squirrels, birds, elephants, whatever you are, as you start to eat me, you're going to feel a burning sensation. So you're going to stop eating this kind of plant. And so that's how only humans actually bred plants to make them even spicier for us.
Right.
Yeah. So one of the two fun things about this article that I encourage everybody to go in and read was, number one was back in 2016, the study that shows if you like spicy foods, that's a very good predictor of that you will be liking roller coasters, or you drive over the speed limit. And if you like that, if you like spicy foods, you are more willing to engage in more risky behaviors. Yeah. Yeah. And another one here that I thought was a really interesting thing was, this is a good way of testing for post-COVID. You know how people lose their taste of smell and lose their taste of sense. And not only just COVID, but during after cancer treatments and stuff like that. So you become, if you have that after chemotherapy, as an example, you tend to lose a lot of your taste buds.
Oh.
They do recover. They do come back. And one way of getting them to come back is eating spicier foods so that you're eating something and it triggers in your mind that you've got a good
Interesting.
meal. Here's a spicy food. Here's something that can
Mhm.
help your brain associate again that spice, food, good, etc.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. It's a pretty cool little world we live in,
I
isn't it?
think so. Yes, very cool.
Speaking of that part of it, you have something that's very cool happening out there. Not this
Yes.
weekend. This weekend is a nice, long Memorial Day weekend. Everybody's
Yes.
gonna have a fun time. Everybody's gonna go out and relax
Yeah.
because everybody here at the library is gonna be working extra hard the next weekend. Tell us about it.
Exactly.
Tell us about it.
Yes. So next weekend, or not this coming weekend, but the weekend after this, is the 18th annual Children's Book Fest. It's a free, fun event for kids and their families, and it's going to be held right here in my library, the African American Research Library and Cultural Center, from 11 to 4 p.m. It's the official kickoff to Broward County Library's Summer Learning Program. Kids can get a free book and chances to win great prizes. And we have a special guest, author, illustrator, Frank Morrison. You'll be
He's
able to meet him, hear him talk, and have him sign a book for you.
I
You'll
hope you've seen
also be
his
able to
work.
see
Yeah.
different shows. We have arts and crafts and a virtual reality activity with
Yep. We're always
Mr.
there.
Bob,
Come on.
the cool science dude. And then you have the chance to meet with our great community partners like Kid Vision, PBS's Ms. Penny, the Broward Sheriff's fire truck, Flamingo Gardens Nature Tent, the Museum of Discovery and Science's STEM Mobile, Young at Art Museum, and much more.
Oh yeah, it's a full day. And
Totally wonderful day.
it runs all day long, starting at
Yes.
11 a.m., but the library opens up at 10, so get there early,
Yep.
and it'll run all the way until 4 o'clock. So that it's a
Yes.
full Saturday day.
It's wonderful.
You're gonna
I
have a lot.
want to thank a few people. Do I have time?
Sure, go for it.
All right. I'd like to thank the Broward Public Library Foundation, Children's Services Council of Broward County Parks and Recreation, all the library staff and volunteers who will be helping, and to my library for hosting the event. I hope to see you there.
It's gonna be a blast. Seriously,
Yeah, it's gonna
it
be
will be a
cool.
lot of fun for everybody. You've got to come out and see it, and we will be talking about it all summer long. We've got a tremendous amount of stuff. We'll talk
Tons of
more.
stuff.
Yeah, we'll talk more next week. We'll be featuring the head of youth services, Kimberly White, who does everything for the library system. We're going to feature her next week to talk about what the summer learning program is like this year. But if there's someone, a library or a librarian you want to see featured on the show, reach out. creationstation@broward.org. And remember to hit the follow button on your favorite podcast feed. We're out there on every single service you have. We'll see everybody next week. Have a great time.
Bye.